Hey, it's Zach Calhoun from CloudPano. Hope you're doing well. $10,000 virtual tours. What do they look like? What's an example? I talk about them a lot, high ticket, how to get there, how to sell them, how to break in ecosystems. But let's start off with just some basics. What does a $10,000 virtual tour on CloudPano look like? Join me right here. I'm going to show you some examples on my computer. Stick around in this video. Alrighty, what's up guys, Zach here. In this example screen share, I'm going to show you some examples of $10,000 virtual tours. And the main reason here is because why I'm showing these off, and we have a lot of these. We have a lot of high ticket commercial virtual tours come through. Our users are selling and creating amazing experiences on CloudPano. But one of the number one questions I get, because a lot of my advertisements and language is around these selling these higher ticket tours, because it just pays for everything in one client, right? One day, all your expenses are paid for, everything's paid for. You make a healthy profit. You're excited, and you can hire people out to do it for you. So, let's just go over some examples, and then we can talk more about how to get some of these deals at the end of the video. Okay, so if you look here, you'll see what we call a CloudPano collection. So if you do not know what cloudpano.com is, we are the virtual tour software, 360 virtual tour hosting platform for our customers and users. And if you can white label our virtual tour platform. So when someone delivers this virtual tour link to a client, to a customer, it has their business name in the URL. It's super important. So if you look here, I made a collection. So what a collection is we can bundle tours together. So I took, I think 3 different users' tours. I put them into one collection just to show you what these kind of look like. Okay. So the tour you're selecting is on the top row, and the images within that tour are on this bottom row. So normally it wouldn't necessarily be a collection. It could just be one tour for their clients. But I created this for this video. Okay. Hopefully that was clear. All right. Now, when you look here at this example, and when you put your cursor over this example here, what do you see? Well, this is a large facility, big old green roof, and it also has a specific purpose. So in this case, this is an equestrian center. So an equestrian center is used for horses and showing horses, and I guess for selling horses and doing competitions, etc. So it's a large facility, big, a lot going on, a lot of square footage, a lot of acreage out here to create this, to have this equestrian center event, right? So what the user did was really smart. Was he started off the first photo with a drone shot, so you can get a full picture view of like, what's it look like? What's the parking, look like? Oh, this is a racetrack over here. Cool. You can go over here and look at the racetrack from, he put the drone in the sky, which I think is really, really cool. And as he kind of walked the property and looked around, he probably noticed, well, I bet you it'd be nice to be able to go right from the racetrack right into the covered tent area over here. So let's put a hot spot there. So this obviously is not a drone shot. This is probably taken from the Ricoh Theta Z1 or a camera and stitched together, DSLR camera stitched together. But basically what he did here was he combined these images really well. So you know kind of where you are in the location. If I ever get kind of lost, I can just go, let's go back to the main entrance photo. And if I want to go to this practice ring and tents, I just can click there and I can go to it. And here I am looking down. It's really, really cool. So this is a really high shot here of from this drone example. But what's cool is like I have a really good feel for this facility, where stuff is, where stuff's at. So as a consumer, as a user, or as somebody who's going to be using this facility or coming here, like I know what's here. I really like this, right? Does that make sense? So, so you may be asking yourself, like, what's so special about this? He added in kind of some external links when you go to the inside that are pretty cool. It goes to different marketing materials. But overall, it's a pretty straightforward virtual tour. It's got drone shots, probably taken from a DJI Maverick Pro or something like that, where it has a 360 camera. You just stitches it all together for you. He took photos in different important locations. And he tiled them correctly. He put the information up here on it, and he accomplished the goal with the client what they're trying to do. He actually sent over examples to them, and as he's building it, and they loved it. So it's funny because this user of ours who made this, Robert is his name, he told me on the phone that the that he's used to doing, I guess, headshot photography or wedding photography. He's from a different industry, so charging $10,000 for a client may have been something a little more foreign to him. But it was kind of his goal, and he reached that goal with just this one client, which is really, really, really cool story. So if you're thinking, well, I'm just a real estate photographer, I'm just a guy who does drone shots, for $400 or whatever. Well, if you think bigger, and you target the right client, it's actually quite easy to, and you bring a ton of value. Obviously, you can really do well in the sales process for a higher ticket type virtual tour. Now, these next two I want to show you. This one I talked about a lot before in the past. If you see in our Facebook group, Jordan made this tour, and I love it because he's just a great entrepreneur and knows what he's doing. And you can see there's a lot of images here, a lot of stuff going on. I think this was around like a $14,500 overall value virtual tour. I'm pretty sure what this one was. It's one of his high ticket virtual tours. Looks really nice, and overall it shows the whole facility, and it's let's see here, over 100 panos, so charging accordingly. So this one right here I like a lot. This opening photo. So this is a different campus. So these are both campus universities. Look at this opening shot here. So we added in some hotspot images that are custom, increase their size. And look, as a consumer, I go, okay, well, if I want to go to the liberal fine arts area, I'm going to click this. That's what I'm interested in. And look, it takes me right there. So now I know exactly what to expect. Look, there's a piano. Okay, cool. This place is awesome. I want to go give this people $40,000 and go to school here. Goal is accomplished, right? Really cool deal. So again, these are the two campuses. This fourth example, I really like a lot. It's actually a technical school. This we posted on our Facebook group. Caleb created this one. There's a lot more to this one, but this is one of the tours, one of them of many for this customer. I think it was like 600 some odd panos, over $40,000 in value. That's just for one client. So 2 locations, 2 campuses, one client. And there's also a monthly hosting fee attached to all these tours. So what you're looking at here is an example of a $10,000 virtual tour. I think a $14,500 annual tour, an $18,000 virtual tour, and one tour of many for a $40,000 contract. So what you see here is nothing that's like magical or extraordinary or like just blow your mind. What it does is it brings a ton of utility value to that industry and that niche. And when you align with a lot of value, what they need, what their needs are, in this case, recruiting students, for three of these 4 examples, what you do is you open up a marketplace that just can afford a lot higher transactions, and you can do a lot of custom work for them. And that custom work is where the price tag really can raise, right? They start asking for more, and that's when you can raise your prices and really hit a grand slam home run. When like a $40,000 virtual tour, one client probably took 2 or 3 days, is my guess. Maybe a couple weeks. Not a bad couple weeks. $20,000 in 2 weeks ain't a bad deal. So what are some specific questions people may have? Because I know what's going to come. Like what hardware did they use? Well, Caleb posted about this. So is Jordan. So has, I'm not sure if Robert Morton posted about his hardware, but Recap Theta Z1, they're using, dual fisheye plugin. They are post-processing in Photoshop, or they outsource the post-processing if they're smart. They use maybe some like denoise post-processing software as well too, because the Z1 can be noisy sometimes. And Outlook's great quality photos. You can outsource all the photos if you want to and just charge per photo. So when it comes to actual fulfillment, if you can put a camera in the center of the room, press a button, and then send those files over to an editing professional, you can fulfill on these type of virtual tours pretty easily and scale quickly by just hiring people to do it. You don't have to be necessarily the world-class photographer to get this done. So when you think more at a higher level, more of a marketing partner with your clients, you can close these really big deals. So I hope this was helpful and enlightening. Hats off to these entrepreneurs, Jordan and Caleb and Robert for really putting together a lot of value for their clients, for their customers. I know it took a ton of work to sell those. I don't want to downplay that. It takes a ton of work to sell higher ticket. But there's this phrase I want you to understand: the longer the runway, the bigger the plane can take off. Okay, so be thinking about that. So if it takes a long time to sell something, and you got to re-engage and really bring a ton of value up front, all for free, when it's time to take off, the plane should be pretty big. So just think about that analogy whenever you're going out and selling and picking your market. And if you're in the opposite situation where you just can't seem to get any market value from your niche, it's time to pick a new niche. I'm showing you examples. These exist. There's over 100,000 virtual tours on CloudPano. There's probably a lot more high ticket ones that I haven't seen. People aren't sharing with me. I just want to encourage you. It is possible. As an entrepreneur, you sometimes just need to see an example and go, "Oh, I can do that," and then you go do it, and then it happens, and you're like, "Wow, I did it! It's easier than I thought." Most of the time, things are much easier than we think, and we just make up all these excuses in our mind. So I hope this is helpful. I really hope that this is encouraging for you, and that you go off and you sell your next $10,000 virtual tour customer, but use CloudPano to do so. Gosh, for $49 a month for a Pro Plus plan, and you can go off and sell a $10,000 virtual tour. I think it's like a really, 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 really big ROI for your time and your effort. So you might as well subscribe. It's like a no-brainer. So yeah, if you don't know already, go to cloudpano.com, become a Pro Plus member today. I'm excited to see you have success. And of course, if you're just getting started or you're looking for what are some repeatable systems to help me scale and basically achieve world domination, I highly recommend seeing our free webinar at virtualtourprofit.com. We walk through our sales framework. We walk through examples. We walk through what it takes, what steps it takes to even increase our per transaction value, how to think about our first customer versus our second customer, how lifetime value of the customer, et cetera. How to charge subscriptions. All this is detailed in the virtualtourprofit.com webinar. And of course, we even have a special invitation at the end of that webinar to BTPS, where you can get all the training material you ever possibly need, coaching and help and community to really scale your business at the next level. So if you're wondering, is it worth your time? Well, the answer is absolutely. And it's pretty dang easy. So you might as well give it a shot. The only thing you're going to miss out on is if you don't try. Okay, so those are two options. Go to cloudpano.com and become a Pro Plus member today, or get CloudPano for free for 1 year as a BTPS member included in the package of that program, which I highly recommend. And all you have to do is watch the webinar at virtualtourprofit.com. I'm excited to see you and your business grow. Talk soon.